Goes, do your worst. Do your worst. See what you got out there, you psychos. It'll be more fun, I guess, with the chat on. You can finally talk back, give your 2 cents. Thank you for watching, everybody. It's that time again to go live. I've got nothing to hide. Come at me in the chat. Let's see what you got. No, I'm just kidding. Do not come at me in the chat, please. Only nice comments and supportive remarks, please. I'm sensitive. What the hell was I? Oh, Lindsey Graham died. That was like... It was like Christmas. I thought Mitch McConnell was going to die. And then Lindsey Graham dies. It's like, oh my God. The only thing that would be better is if, like, some kind of missile struck the Supreme Court and killed Clarence Thomas and Kavanaugh and Amy Coney Barrett and all of the conservative justices, Roberts, the 6-3 majority, the Trump majority. I mean, huzzah! I didn't even know Lindsey Graham was, like, potentially gonna die. I thought he was, like, gonna be probably with us. You know, he's one of the prime Trump kind of ally, little parrot, pet senators. And he's like, I don't know, the Truman Capote of the Senate or something. Well, he just came back from Ukraine. He was literally in Ukraine like yesterday or something, like 2 days ago. What is the point of doing this? Is no one gonna watch? They made it too easy to live stream. All you have to do is like click one button on your phone and it's all of a sudden, bam, my whole ass is out on the internet. But I'm committed to this. It's part of my practice, god damn it. And so, for better or for worse, we're gonna keep plowing away. Someday, I'm gonna have some kind of giant breakthrough with my live stream. I'm gonna have billions of people watching. I'm gonna be like Hassan Piker someday. No, I don't know. Who knows what's... I'll probably continue to live stream the same two loyal... Well, it's Sunday night. I guess I don't typically do a Sunday. So, I don't know. Or it's a nice night out-ish, sort of. Is it a holiday tomorrow? I don't even think it's a holiday or anything. But people are... maybe out doing shit, I don't know. I was out, I already did 2 shows today. I did, shout out to Linda Kleinbub, Pink Trees Press. They do an open mic at this garden, 6B, beautiful community garden in the East Village. So I went and did that. A lot of the amazing East Village, downtown kind of luminary poets were there. Dee Dee Champagne, shout out to Dee Dee Champagne. One of the coolest people you'll ever meet. And then I went to Elizabeth Street Garden reading after that, which is another great Sunday. It's every other week. In Elizabeth Street Garden, a lot of people probably know about it. It's sort of like a pet cause and sort of passion project for a lot of hot people. Because Soho, I mean... If I had to guess, Soho probably is pound for pound like the hottest neighborhood on the planet. It's like you can't live in Soho unless you're insanely rich and like incredibly hot. Like there's a lot of celebrities there. And I saw some TikTok celebrity, Delaney something, at Finelli's on my way back. Maybe I should just not, maybe I should wait till the audience comes. Before I start really rattling off the pearls. I mean, my last live stream was pretty good, and it only got like 17 views or something, somehow. It's a shock, I know. Oh, well, July, my viewership goes way down in July. Every July, it's like, it's summer. You know, it's people are out doing shit. They're out boating, they're swimming, they're at the beach. They're doing open mics on the beach. Me, I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been trying to stay very busy. Let's see, Saturday I had 2 gigs. Sunday I had 2 gigs. I guess I didn't do anything Tuesday, I didn't do anything Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I don't think. I had Monday, Tuesday, then I took a few days off. What's the point? I should have just kept going through, but this is gonna fall. My ghetto ass. So somebody's watching. My ghetto ass rig here. Come on. There he goes. Okay, now we got production value there. Yeah, look at that. How about that Dutch angle? Now that's auteur status right there. I'm an auteur of the live stream. Is how I look at it generally. It's this is the ultimate creative control. Really, it's all about creative control and Final Cut and just being able to execute your own vision. You know, whatever to the hilt, your individualized kind of way of seeing or fingerprint, creatively, imaginatively. I was watching this fucking New York Times interview with Mick Jagger. Did people watch that? That's my competition. I mean, I'm not surprised, but I am surprised that the New Yorker and the New York Times have both figured out, and a lot of these magazines. I think Esquire has like a really good YouTube channel. Vogue is a really good YouTube channel. It's amazing how well these magazines have done the pivot to video. And if I was more ambitious, I probably would have been in on that somehow. You know, I started doing videography in New York in like 2014, 2013. So I've been in the fucking professional ranks for like over a decade, even though I'm sort of semi-retired. Now I'm an amateur streamer and I'm a stream hound. And, you know, I'm more of a guerrilla filmmaker is how I like to conceive of it. It's like I'm a run and gun. And so this Mick Jagger interview, he was talking about, it's like when you're writing, he was talking about writing a lot. It's like when you're writing, it's like, you know, it's like incidents from your life, but it's also like creative. You know, it's like you make things up. It's fiction. It's like Mick Jagger, you know, I don't know. The Stones have kind of a light touch, but I mean, they've covered a lot of ground, and I think their lyrics are underrated in a way. The Stones have kind of like a dreamy, sort of Bob Dylan, Jimi Hendrix-ish, kind of poetic. I mean, Keith is a natural storyteller and kind of raconteur and all-around bon vivant. And then Mick Jagger is like, I don't know, I was surprised this interview. He's a pretty good sport. He's like, I've been to parts of America like most people in New York have never been. Like, I was like, have you ever been to Cleveland? He's like, I spent 5 days in Cleveland. It's like, oh, geez, is it really that bad? That it's like, Cleveland's not the most weird, remote part of America by any stretch. I'd spent my whole goddamn life there. Okay, try that. Try 25 years. Okay, 5 days. Give me a break. He's like, most New Yorkers, they don't go to Cleveland. Fucking Cleveland. They just go to, you know, whatever, San Francisco, Sun Valley, Aspen, Telluride. I don't know where the fuck they go. They go to Europe. They go everywhere. They don't go to Cleveland. That's for fuck sure. I mean, everybody I know who I tell that I'm from Ohio, they're like, oh yeah, I've been there. I've been to Cincinnati and Cleveland. It's like, good for you. I could give a fuck. I'm from Columbus. I'm from the middle child of the 3 C cities in Ohio. The overlooked, silent, middle city. Columbus, named after a, you know, genocidal. He's really the one who's responsible for all of this. He infected the natives, he enslaved them. So let's name this whole city of white people after him. The whole city of stolen land. Let's name it after this Italian guy that killed all the natives. Right, am I right, people? So anyway, Cleveland. Have you ever been to fucking Cleveland for 5 days? I had to go back to the Upper West Side immediately. So Mick Jagger lives on the Upper West Side, I guess, somewhere. Where would you guess? Do you think he lives on Riverside Drive? Or do you think he lives on Central Park West? Maybe he has a townhouse. I'm trying to picture, like the Stones lived in New York during like what? Some Girls and shit like that. They've kind of had a running New York. But all of these bands, it's like they live in London and New York. Like McCartney, it's like they kind of split their time. They have to dominate all these world cities. And so, I don't know, Mick Jagger probably has like a fucking townhouse in the 80s or 70s or something, I guess. Why not? He probably likes going to the park, maybe. I think he likes, I've seen his Instagram, Mick Jagger, he has like his driver like driving around, he just like looks at stuff. He's like, yeah, I'll go to the barbecue place in like Wilmington, North Carolina, yeah, have a beer and fucking make an Instagram post about it, man. The Stones, they feel like this is a classic rock. I'm like the Rick Beato of, mention your favorite in the comments. The Stones feel like they're really trying hard with this album. They're trying, I think they can feel their mortality. They know that their deal with the devil is just about to come due. They're going to be spending eternity roasting in hell for this satanic, for selling their souls to be famous rock gods. And so their new album, the fucking cover is terrible. The cover is like one of the ugliest things I've ever seen. I'm shocked that they chose this cover because it is really hideous. I guess kind of in like a cool Stones way, but also kind of not. It kind of just looks like a combination of all their faces, but like this really exaggerated kind of caricature. But the Stones, they have that recognizable hair. They've all got that fucking, like Nigel Tufnell, whatever the fuck that is. That like Keith hair. It's like all bunched up, and those British guys, they got that kind of like broom hair. Like Jeff Beck, Ronnie Wood, Ronnie's still trying to rock that fucking broom hair. It's not quite, I don't know, man. How long can you pretend to be fucking teenage sex panther or whatever? I guess well past the age of 80. So it seems like the Stones are scrambling to like stay relevant or something. I think when Charlie Watts died, because is Bill Wyman still alive? I mean, Jesus Christ, Bill Wyman might still be alive. Is that possible? He was the oldest one. I have been meaning to talk about Bill Wyman. I think Bill Wyman might be the most undersung major member of like a major band. You hear everything about every goddamn British fucking rock everything. Goddamn every band. It's like John Entwistle, is famous. Fucking the drummer's famous. Fucking, John Paul Jones. Fucking Ginger Baker, Jack Bruce. Whereas like Bill Wyman, I don't know. To be honest, it's hard to hear what the fuck he's even doing on those records. The way they're mixed, you really can't even make out the notes or something. He really is kind of like the shadowy, dark lord of the Stones. And to be honest, I mean, he is like a pedo. He married like a 13-year-old or something. Or like he met this girl when she was 13 or something. I don't know what exactly is going on there. Of course, we're separating the art from the artist. I mean, I remember seeing it was like the Stones, and it was like how many women they'd slept with, like in the early days. They were all like keeping track, and it was like, Mick Jagger like 78, Keith Richards like 80, Brian Jones like 100, and then Bill Wyman was like 300. Bill Wyman is just a big horn. Not that that's relevant, not that anybody gives a fuck. It's just more classic rock fucking trivia. And, those bands were just like everything. The Stones were such a huge part of like the identities of so many fucking people. Like my parents, a lot of people. It was just like, that was what was cool. Fucking acting like you're fucking Keith Richards and you're bagging a cig and you're drinking a fucking, it's like, that's These guys, they just have this, I don't know, they're kind of underrated. I feel like people shit all over the Stones now, or like, even McCartney was like, they're a blues cover band. Which is not, I mean, the Rolling Stones have some great songs. You know, like maybe they're not exactly, it's, you know, the debate when I was younger was like Stones or Beatles, like they were comparable. Now I don't, you know, the Beatles I think do have more musical complexity or something, but that's not, I don't know. The Stones have a lot of great songs that, like Ruby Tuesday, or fucking, you know, She Sighed Sweetly, or Dandelion, or fucking, you know, there's any number of goddamn Rolling Stone songs that are just like classic chords, C, G, F, D, A, E, that's it. The Last Time. How many times have they fucking invented this kind of swag with just like, you know, barely just regular cowboy guitar chords, no jazz chords, none of that shit. They're fast and loose. They have this kind of country rock thing going on. And like, great, yeah, okay, they're not maybe as musically rich. I think that's like the vocals. You know, the Beatles' vocals really are magnificent. They really could sing harmony and create like this godlike sound. The Beatles really came out of like 50s doo-wop and shit. You know, like if you listen to, they play covers of like Three Cool Cats and Search the Coasters and shit. It's like they kind of learned everything. But it was, you know, the 50s, it was like normal for like tough guys and gangs and shit to be like in vocal groups. Like, yeah, we're gonna fucking have a knife fight and a fucking chickie run, and then we're all gonna sing the gayest fucking falsetto ass, like, yeah, I was there. I was fucking there, okay? That's why I'm reminiscing about my days in the fucking barbershop quartet. Well, I'm talking about the goddamn Rolling Stones and how young people, I don't even know if young people give a fuck. I mean, who did I see? I was looking at somebody on goddamn Spotify. Maroon 5. You know how many Maroon 5 songs have a billion fucking, okay. Yeah, I'm a boomer. I'm culturally a boomer, okay? This is heavily reconstructed, okay? I've got every fucking injection and filling, and I've got veneers, I got filler, I've got you know, fucking cryogenic, cryo freezing, anything, whatever weird scientific goddamn procedure they want to do, anything to hold on to my youth. I mean, god damn it. It's all you know, it's all I have. How will I make money? It's literally fucking, no, I have 2 people watching, okay? It's not true that no one is watching, okay? And, I'm talking about the goddamn Rolling Stones and Mick Jagger. And how they're underappreciated, okay? For being white people that rip off blues music and pentatonic. Everything's fucking pentatonic. They got a lot out of that pentatonic scale, okay? Let's see you do that for 70 years. Let's see you fucking rewrite Chuck Berry licks for fucking 70 years. And I don't know, I think Mick Jagger, as a social commentator, I don't know, I think he's a legitimate British poet guy. He's like a Oscar Wilde kind of, he's a, you know, he's seen a lot in his time and his decades. Oh God, should I have left the chat off? See, this is why I have the chat off, because it's just too much vulnerability. Rolling Stone is literally a top music magazine, which is named after the fucking Rolling Stones. I'm talking about something a little more nuanced than that, okay? I'm talking about their most recent album. It has nothing to do with a fucking magazine, which is also for boomers. This is why I love having the comments on, because I just argue with people. People just want to run their fucking mouths. I said, this latest, they're really trying. It said they might not ever go on tour again. Okay, the Rolling Stones might not ever. It's already done, and it's kind of needs to be. I mean, fucking, when Charlie Watts died, it's like, okay, oh God, good. The old fucking white guys should just hang it up. I really think that they will be out there in fucking chairs. They will be out there in rocking chairs with fucking acoustic guitar. I mean, Buddy Guy just opened for John Mulaney, okay? Fucking, he's 93 or something. So, I think Mick and Keith will be out there. Look, this matters, okay? This matters to me culturally. If you don't like it, you can turn it off. Yeah, I'm in outer space, okay? This is a space station. I live on the moon now with Elon Musk. Bruce Holiday saw them twice in the 70s. You saw the Stones at Madison Square Garden. What tour was that? Was that fucking... See, he cared. That's why Bruce Holiday watches. Because I got the fucking... the cutting edge. I told you I'm Rick Beato. Maybe you weren't listening when I said I was Rick Beato, but I'm a boomer dad rock fucking... Okay, Bruce, I know who Bruce is, okay? Bruce is real. He lives in New Jersey. He's seen every fucking classic rock act. He's seen Iggy Pop in fucking New Jersey. So he saw goddamn Rolling Stones. No, I haven't seen anybody in any room. I try to stay at home by myself. On the internet, I like spending all my time on the internet, talking to strangers, and working my dick off to get 0 likes from 3 fucking people. Providing this cutting-edge cultural commentary about Mick and Keith and how they're dying, okay? This is what I'm talking about, the death of the boomer monoculture. McCartney's old. Buddy Guy, there you go, Red Bank. Red Bank, what's going on in Red Bank? Is there some kind of theater there or something? Buddy Guy is still fucking... I see TikTok videos of him in his club, fucking shredding in people's faces. He practically invented that shit. Okay? Buddy Guy, he's got his own fucking blues bar where he fucking, yeah, okay. What's funny about that? There's nothing funny about that. I have a monopod that has no legs, so, I have like a couple setups that sort of work. This is why I'm an old man and I have no success, because it's the details. I just can't get those little finer points together. I'm not interested. I love let's just do it now. Let's go live. We're ready. There's too much to talk about. Lindsey Graham fucking died, okay? Count Basie Theater, okay. There it is. Count Basie fucking Theater, okay? Yeah, I think there's some fucking guy on YouTube that's got a... God bless New Jersey, because in the 70s, the sound guy or the fucking people that were running the tech at some theater, I think in Passaic, they got video of like all these acts, Talking Heads and Grateful Dead and all these fucking bands in the late 70s that went through their theater. So they've got videos on YouTube that have direct to the board sound quality. And it's like a black and white video quality from the 70s, but it's still like, that shit is priceless. You can't have too much video, okay? There's no such thing as having too much video. You should document everything. You always should have done this. I wish I had filmed all of the Holy Smokes gigs. They just had some fucking Beatles and other classic rock news. Some Beatles, the first performance of the Beatles on Top of the Pops, they just found this. They just found some Wings fucking rehearsal from the 70s. It's like, they don't have that much of that shit. All right, have a good night. Thanks for watching. I'm going to talk about more dad rock stuff, so... you know, they don't have that Capitol Theater. There you go, Passaic, New Jersey. Capitol Theater. Yeah. What do you want? We want to talk about Lindsey Graham dying or Mitch McConnell? They just had a picture of Mitch McConnell. He's like fucking. He's doing fine, I guess, which kind of sucks. I don't know. I can't have my ops in the chat. I'm sorry. I just can't have ops in the chat. You know, it's just, why do the ops want to come at me in the chat? I don't know. This is what, you know, this is what happens, I've found, when you do, like, spoken word shit, is, like, people use it as an excuse to, like, they want to contribute. They're like, oh, this guy's just kind of saying what he thinks. Well, I get to say that, too. It's like, well, no, I mean, like, this is the show. Is it raining? I can't tell. This is the show, okay? Welcome to the fucking... You guys know. You're my loyal fans. I scared off the ops. See, this is why I don't have the chat on. Because whenever I turn the fucking chat on, some lunatic wants to confront me about something. Which can be fun. Don't get me wrong. It can be a nice way to reconnect. So anyway, I've been out... Yesterday, I did this fucking show in the East Village. You may have seen it. I posted it on my goddamn YouTube page. I think it went pretty well. I played 4 songs. It's kind of the softer side. I wasn't high. And then later, it was a nice day. You know, a lot of acts. A lot of music. And then, afterwards, I had the clown show. The clown show was at this well, it was a stand-up comedy show. It was fucking Muppets themed. They asked us our favorite Muppet. Fucking, I think Adam S. might be watching. He might be at work. I don't know who the other person in the fucking... Usually when there's 2 people watching, I assume that it's Adam S. and Bruce Halladay. They're my core fan base. They're my top fans. According to YouTube. To use YouTube parlance. So shout out to Bruce Halladay and Adam S. When I'm a juggernaut, when I'm literally like a, you know, Nick Fuentes level political juggernaut, Bruce Halladay and Adam S. will be on my board of directors. They'll be in the platinum level circle. They'll be in the executive platinum club level of all my arena shows. They'll get a private box at my arena show. When I'm live streaming from goddamn Madison Square Garden or the fucking PNC Park or the Prudential Center, the Staples Center. They get a private owner's box. Women, am I right? Women. So yeah, we were on this stand-up comedy show. The theme was Muppets, which Glenn Blurton was booked on it. They've been nice enough. I've been sort of Glenn Blurton's apprentice. Glenn Blurton has sort of taken me under their wing, and it's a nice rapport we had because it's like it helps me a lot because I get to get in front of an audience. You know, there was probably 30 people there, and they were a good comedy audience. I mean, they were there to fucking laugh. It was this cool hotel in Chelsea. You know, it was like on 25th Street. It was like this fucking club. For some reason, literally, it was like an atrium. It's like, for some reason, they're doing a fucking stand-up comedy show on Saturday night, but God bless them. They had fucking Father Glenn and Proctor Matthew. And, so it's a chance to just kind of get experience in front of people, but it's like, not all the responsibilities on me to make it work. I'm really just there to support. I can focus on the music aspect of it. I'm like the Paul Schaefer. I'm like the Garth of the Glenn Blurton revival tent. And we're starting to get more comfortable and kind of adventurous, and we did good, I think. You know, the audience, it was just so different than any of the other stuff. You know, everybody else was just doing stand-up comedy, and we went up there. We were like Muppets. We were fucking loud, and you know, the outfits are just ridiculous. It's just fun. You know, it's just a fun, you know, thing that I fell into. Sadly, that's just how much of a joke my life is. I have a negative capability when it comes to manifestation. I get the opposite of everything that I want. So I've got this sad clown life. But I don't know, it is kind of a cool, I mean, the costumes are insane. It's a fun, imaginative, colorful place. The clown world. And for better or for worse, I've been sucked in by the huge gravitational pull of clown life. And so, I don't know, even doing poetry stuff, I'm like sort of like reconnecting. I haven't done, it's been so long since I've been doing these like 2-minute open mic spots. You know, I used to write all these poems that were like in my notebook that were 2 pages long, because every fucking open mic you do, you get 2 minutes, you get 3 minutes, you get 4 minutes. And so I've been writing these pieces that are way longer. You know, I've been reading longer, 10, 15, 20-minute kind of chunks on Independence Day. My legendary poetry reading on Independence Day that gave everybody the ick. I think I read for at least 20 minutes. Probably 25 minutes. It needed to be done. They got the ick. I don't know why. That was the opposite of the intended effect. I thought they were going to just love it. I think people are going to love my genius poetry. I don't get it. I don't understand what is going on. But in any case, I keep foisting it on people. And so, you know, I do the open mic on Monday, but I've been doing, you know, I do little spots here and there, but with poetry stuff, it's like I don't really typically go out that often. There haven't been that many. You know, it's like I'll do one maybe every couple weeks. Whereas like today, it's like there were 3 fucking outdoor poetry open mics all at the same time. There was this one in the East Village, there was Lizard Street Garden, and then there was the one at fucking Till Death. And it's like, I just happen to, you know, when I do this stuff, I don't know. I'm nervous, and I, you know, get in my head and shit about these open mics. So it's like, it's hard for me to even go to open mics and like, you know, going up to the host and being like, hey, can you fucking sign me up? I always show up late, so I always go on like last. Which I don't mind, but you know, I'm a little bit anxious about it just in general. So it's hard to push through all that stuff. Even though a lot of times when I do go out, like at this 6B thing, they gave me a really nice reception. They remembered who I was. She gave me a really nice introduction. And then I bombed. I read my weird diary poetry, which everybody, you know, is sort of confused by. And stream of consciousness. It's stream of consciousness, everybody. As we know. We know how much I love fucking streaming. Streaming consciousness, streaming goddamn punditry, random meandering. I don't know, man. Maybe if I wasn't so self-deprecating. So anyway, yeah, I read this couple new pieces from my notebook, Zodiac's Exodus and Black Sesame. And they were sort of two parts of one piece. So I was like, okay, I'll do the first. I was originally going to read 2 poems at the first open mic, but then it was a 4-minute time limit, and they had this little fucking digital watch that was like beeping when the 4 minutes was up, which I like. I think that's a nice approach. But, you know, that's something I don't do on Mondays. I don't have like a fucking alarm go off at 5 minutes. Like, okay, get the fuck off the stage. Maybe I should, but I don't know. Is there something like invasive in like, it's like getting woken up by your alarm. It's like, oh, I was in the dream of the poem and you shocked me out of it. You goddamn it. And so I'm not, I don't know. It is what it is. They have to run a tight ship. Me, I'm more of a vibe based. I like feeling it out. Oh God. What else? The fuck else? So yeah, so I did this fucking Garden 6B. I read this poem. I don't know. It had some funny lines in it. I don't know. Sometimes you just go out, like these open mics, to be honest, you do them just to like face your fear. It's not like you know, a lot of times it's just a dry run for me. It's not like I'm going in to like kill. You know, it's almost like bad manners, I feel like, to kill at an open mic. It's almost like you're showing off or something. Where it's just like, at the open mic, I kind of like doing something that's just like, not a failure, but something that's like a little bit more on the edge, because it's about being out of your comfort zone and sort of trying something in front of a bunch of people. I mean, there were 30 people at this fucking, it's a beautiful garden on, you know, Avenue B, really nice fucking ponds and shit, you know, shady, green, the lungs of the fucking, you know, downtown neighborhoods, these nice community gardens. And so they have a lot of pride in it. And it's, you know, it's a lot of old poet, artist people who live in the neighborhood. And then young gentrifier people sort of come in and out. They had watermelon. They had water with fucking, you know, lemon and mint and lime and shit in it. So it was a really nice event. You know, they had fucking probably, I think 40 people were on the list or something to read. And I went second to last or something like that, very near the end. You know, but I sat there for a couple hours before I knew that I would even get on or anything. It was just like, how am I gonna go up there and try to elbow my way onto the list? Is it full? I'm just not that type of guy. I'm not like, I'm sort of inconspicuous when it comes to that stuff. I don't really, you know, like pushing myself to the front of the fucking line or whatever always, but you have to do that. You know, in New York, it's just like you just have to do that. There's a constant churn of new talent and blood and fresh-faced Ivy League fucking people from Iowa are always coming, and it's just, you know, new generation, micro generations. Every fucking quarter is a new class of new people in town. And so then I went to Elizabeth Street Garden, which is like, you know, probably a 20-minute walk from there. I did the rare double. I probably could have done 3 poetry open mics today, to be honest. I probably could have made it to the Till Death thing, but I just, you know, it was hard enough to do 2. Because this one at Elizabeth Street Garden, it's like, it's curated by McNally Jackson. So technically you're supposed to like email them and like, they're supposed to like read your shit and be like, okay, you come out. But I've done it a bunch of times, you know, like I started doing it in 2021. And so it's like, I've literally done it, you know, probably 20 fucking times or something. And they don't totally recognize me anymore because the last couple of years I haven't gone that much. I've gone like maybe once a year the last like 2 or 3 years. But I used to do it like fucking every fucking time. I do it 5 times a year or something. It's a beautiful, you know, Elizabeth Street Garden. It's like, it's an oasis. in an otherwise very like kind of claustrophobic neighborhood and area. And it's just like every hot person on earth on fucking Instagram goes through Elizabeth Street Garden, shares a fucking post about it, because it's totally magical and idyllic. It looks like that statue garden in Jules et Jim. It's like, you know, it's just crazy, beautiful sculptures and old fucking iron gates and shit. It's almost like a graveyard, sort of, but like a happy, you know, like Surratt or something. And so they have this nice little kind of atrium. You've probably seen it in my vlogs. It's been a regular feature of my vlogs since 2021, you know, because it's and it's a great audience. There was like 40 or 50 people there that are just fucking young and hot and just there to like absorb poetry. And there was a lot of good writers, to be honest. There was a few people that like I was pretty impressed with. And, you know, I was a little apprehensive to do it because the lady had like a list with a bunch of names on it. It's like, my name is not on that list. I got there probably 20 minutes late. I missed the whole beginning spiel and everything. But the way it works at Elizabeth Street Garden is like, you're just supposed to jump up. It's like, there's no order. The host doesn't go up and say who's next. It's literally like, if you're a poet and you're there, you're just supposed to jump on the microphone and do your thing and then get off. And not take that long, you know, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And so it's like, it's kind of a trust system, but generally it felt like you kind of have an open invitation if you've done it a bunch of times. And so I like to drop in there sort of, you know, anonymously and spring my, you know, poetry on an unsuspecting public reading about that. So that poem was all about, well, there was this line I had, which I thought was pretty good. Where is the clit of the audience? That's sort of my quest now as an entertainer. It's like I'm trying to find the clit of the audience. Like somewhere in that room, there's a clit. You know, of just like if you're able to hit that, find that and just hit that, then you've got something. It's like that's your job as an entertainer. So I had, my poem was like, it's all very personal stuff. That's why I do it. It's like these open mics are like an opportunity to film content. It's sad but true. And, you know, they're beautiful outdoor fucking gardens. You know, like I said, there was 30 people at each one of these fucking readings. It's like, it's more people than most gigs. And they're all like, you know, they're all smart poetry people, fresh-faced, old people. You know, there was definitely some good stuff. The lady who curates it for McNally Jackson. That's a, you know, that's a big seal of approval to have for like your fucking open mic. But I mean, it's a, you know, it's Elizabeth Street Garden. It's a magical. Did Mom Donnie saved it? One of the fucking mayors saved it, or there was some big campaign to fucking save it. So thank God we can still go there and harass them with our, you know, pornographic verse. What did my second poem? It had a line about, oh, the clit of the audience, yeah. So I edited it. I said, where is the G spot of the audience? Which honestly is not as good of a line. That's not really... I'm not really trying to find the G spot. I'm trying to find the G spot and the clit. Ideally, sorry. I mean, I don't mean to be gross about it on the internet, but that's what I do. I don't know. It's a metaphor, okay? It's poetry. It is a metaphor. It's a metaphorical clit of the audience. It's, you know, it's a metaphysical, telepathic. It's like you're trying to find that button, you know, that just like kills. Like, how do you do it? That is the sauce. You know, that is the magic code that we're trying to crack. You know, I just think of, not to go back to the dad rock thing, but I think about these bands, like, look at the reaction that the Beatles caused in people. People were screaming and tearing at their faces, crying. It was like they found the clit of the audience. And they did it. They had harmony. They were just making the best sound that they possibly could have made with the unit that they had. You know, it's like their vocal harmonies were very hook. Everything's a hook. You know, everything in the fucking song is a hook. Because they have this like committee process that's almost like telepathy, because they spent all this time playing together and shit. And so anything that sucks just immediately gets vibed out. And so, I don't know. This is why you need to be on stage like all day, every day, if you really want to do this. I'm suddenly surrounded by people that like literally just throw themselves into this, you know? And it's like you kind of have to. It's like you should be out every fucking day doing multiple fucking shows, hanging out with people, making friends, collaborating, jamming, you know, just shooting the shit, filming shit, live streaming, vlogging it, doing interviews, talking to your fucking phone on a stick, playing verbal jazz, okay? So yeah, I censored myself. I mean, you know, everybody at this reading was like reading this like really academic, like sincere, like vulnerable. My stuff is much more smart aleck and, you know, obscene. So I had to curb it a little bit. Not that it went over. I just, you know, it was sort of just like I wanted to face my fear and just do it. You know, I've got the fucking New York Poetry Festival next weekend. So I'm sort of trying to prep for that a little bit. I'm trying to tell the story of the legend of my life as a troubadour, verbal assassin. Jay-Z just is playing at Yankee Stadium. I've heard of, you know, that's been kind of reverberating. There was a guy on the train who had just come from the fucking concert. You know, Jay-Z, I don't love Jay-Z, but, you know, he is a big deal, especially in New York. He casts a big shadow, and so he's playing Yankee Stadium. So it's like, you know, kind of this, it's a cultural resonating thing that's going on right now. And, you know, you feel it at the open mic. I've got a lot of rappers. And, you know, Jay-Z is important. He is influential to people. I like a lot of his songs, to be honest. I like him a lot more now than I did when I was a kid. I hated him when I was in high school. I hated Big Pimpin', and that's when he was actually, like, big. You know, Jigga or whatever. I didn't really love that stuff, to be honest. When I was in 1999 or whatever, when Jay-Z was initially like super popular and cool. But I've come to appreciate. I like Money Cash Hoes. I kind of live by Money Cash Hoes. 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 It's kind of a motto. It's kind of words to live by, really. Money, cash, hoes, okay? Who can afford concerts? Yeah, good. Well, this guy said he paid $200 to see Jay-Z, which didn't sound that bad, to be honest. To see Jay-Z in Yankee Stadium, that doesn't sound absurd to me. Like, you know, the last time I went to a real concert was probably 15 or 20 years ago, and it was like $120 to see, you know, Springsteen nosebleeds were like $110 or something, $115. I think Bob Dylan tickets were probably like $55. They were not that expensive. You know, that's pretty much a deal to see fucking a living legend, genius of art, create new masterpieces right before your very eyes. But, I mean, God knows how much a fucking Stones concert is now. You know, it's you know, McCartney tickets are like $4,000. They're like fucking Taylor Swift, you know, tier. They're Taylor Swift tier price It's ridiculous. It's capitalism run fucking amok. Like all of this shit. Like crypto, like fucking SpaceX bullshit, like fucking poly market. It's all insanity. They've weaponized market, free market, or whatever, exploitative financialization of literally everything through the internet. You know, it's like now it's like they just put everything online and it's a feeding frenzy of bidding. It's a bidding war. Everything is fucking eBay. You know, it's like, oh, you want Taylor Swift tickets? It's $4,000. Like, that's just, you know, that's what the market is fucking dictating. You know, dumbasses will pay it because the fucking demand is so fucking high. I mean, I don't remember anything being that predatory when I was younger. I mean, granted, I lived in Columbus, Ohio, but like the most expensive tickets you might get for something were maybe like $500 or something. You know, like maybe if you went and saw Elton John and Billy Joel, it cost $500. But most of the musicians were conscientious about, I mean, this is something they claimed anyway, was like, we want to price it so like parents can pay a babysitter, they can go to dinner, they can pay for parking. So like an evening out isn't going to price gouge these fucking people to death. Everything is just fucking price gouging now. It's just like fucking gouge away. That's good business. That's smart. You know, then you'll have $4,000 to go see fucking Paul McCartney or it's even these bands suck. You know, it's like thousands of dollars to see total shit. Like look at the fucking Beach Boys. I mean, I don't know how much those tickets are. They got John Stamos, but I guess they're probably not that much. But I stopped paying for real concerts a long time ago, personally. I mean, it sucks. Concerts are like one of the wonderful experiences of our current culture. It's really fun to go to concerts and to actually have a good time, you know, like I would love to go to a fucking concert at Madison Square Garden. I guess I should get off my broke ass and make some money. And I mean, there isn't a whole lot that I would love to see. Most of the bands that I like are all fucking dead. As viewers of my fucking live stream are probably well aware, all the music that I like is highly irrelevant. It's tainted with boomer stain. You can't get that boomer out. And people, it's just not cool. People are hyper conscientious about like when things came out and like, oh, that's not cool anymore. You know, that was cool then. That sounds like then. That sounds like, you know, fucking 2000 whatever to 2015. That sounds like 1960s, you know, that sounds like 50s. It's like, Jesus Christ. I guess that's what musicians are sort of supposed to do is like Ticketron. Musicians are supposed to define the current worldscape through like their sound. You know, like there has to be something in their sound that you're like, I've never heard that before, and that sounds like right now. Like McGee. Or Charlie XCX, Brat. You know, that was a big fucking, she branded that, you know, like it was her fucking intellectual property, like, you know, summer of 20, whatever that was, 24, I think it was right before the election, was Brat summer, because Kamala was like kind of Brat. Not really, but, you know, of course they tried to be lame in that way, but. I don't know. What is the sound of 2026? Who is making it? Is it Dua Lipa? Is it Olivia Rodrigo? I don't know. Who's got the newest thing out there that people are? Is it Geese? Is it fucking one of these goddamn Stranger Things bands? Is it Finn Wolfhard? It's probably a bunch of douchebags in Chicago. It's fucking System Lord, obviously. System Lord is obviously the sound of the future. That's why nobody gets it. We live in a fucking idiocracy. But I don't know. You do have to, if you're a musician, so you do have to make your shit like popular. You know, like if you really want to be. Oh, have people been seeing? They're doing this Wes Anderson concert in the Hollywood Bowl. I think it's beautiful. I think it's really corny, and I'm glad that Wes Anderson is like having this sort of like return to Los Angeles and to the United States and sort of reclaiming his like roots, because it did seem like he wanted to get as far away from where he came from as possible. You know, like one of the things that I liked about Bottle Rocket, it's Bottle Rocket's 30th anniversary. They just did this screening with Luke Wilson and Wes Anderson and James L. Brooks. You know, it's like that's interesting that that's where Wes Anderson came from. He came out of James L. Brooks. Fucking Terms of Endearment, like not Chinichita or whatever. You know, like he came out of like this Hollywood studio, like the guy who makes the fucking Simpsons, basically. And Taxi. Or Wes Anderson movies just like some kind of super aesthetic version of Taxi. Well, what did he learn from this guy? You know, like this guy taught him the ropes about screenwriting, movie making, whatever. And Bottle Rocket is not like the other Wes Anderson movies where it's like the aesthetic is really heavy-handed. It looks kind of like other movies. It's more naturalistic. It looks kind of like a Terrence Malick movie. It kind of looks like Drugstore Cowboy. It kind of looks like a Wim Wenders movie, like, you know, sort of like American Friend, or but it doesn't really look like a Wes Anderson movie that much. You know, it's not hyper aware of kind of its trademark aesthetic, you know, markers, definitions. And so, you know, it's like he moved to fucking Paris, France, and he makes all these goddamn movies and all over the goddamn world, except the United States. It's always like the French Dispatch of the Louisville, Kentucky, fucking, you know, Kansas, Missouri. It's like a bunch of people that are supposedly from like small, like the guy in Life Aquatic, he's from like Louisville. Ned or whatever. You don't understand. These were important films to millennials, okay? This was back when there was a monoculture. Wes Anderson may have been like one of the last like major artists, popular, where like his movies were sort of like a guide to like what was cool. It taught people how to dress. It taught, you know, they were really like vintage aesthetic analog. You know, it was like fetishizing the analog. Vinyl, old tennis equipment, you know, glasses, the way people lived in the 60s or 70s or 50s or something. And I was just at this fucking TVI, which is right down the street. And this guy, Jonathan Tubin, was DJing, who DJs all the... He's like Ian Slavonius. I want to be the next Ian Slavonius. I couldn't be that cool, I guess. But anyway, so it was like a bunch of like rock and roll people, but they're like aging. I don't know. It's like, is that culture dying? It's sort of like rockabilly. Everybody looks like they're in the Cramps. They all are like sort of goth, rockabilly, / Iggy Pop Stooges, like. And that's like the scene that I came up in Ohio. Everybody was like that. Everybody was like, you know, some kind of vintage rock and roll, garage rock, you know, fucking scenester, hipster. That was hipster. You know, it was like, I don't know, it sort of had an edgy, but it feels like very 20th century in a way now. It feels like kind of like passe, I don't know. But it's also like, well, I'm an aging hipster, so maybe that's where I belong with all these fucking people at the Wes Anderson 30th the celebration of Wes Anderson music. And yeah, Bottle Rocket was just like a huge fucking. It was my favorite movie in high school. Like I watched it like practically every fucking day. Because I don't know, there was just something about the sense of humor. Well, okay, so it looked like Ohio. You know, it was Texas. They went to Austin. They went to UT Austin. So they were a product of state schools, like me. And they met in a playwriting class. And Bottle Rocket was a movie that sort of looked like Ohio. It was a similar landscape, these kind of green soybean fields and shit, kind of state route, kind of roads, hotels, you know, not that developed city. Like I think they shot it in Dallas maybe, which is sort of like Columbus. It's just like this cow town, flat, landlocked. It's like a crossroads business, fucking sports place. But they, you know, it's aestheticized enough where it's like there's little things they do, like Dignan's shirt or the red jacket, or the little Porsche that they steal, the motel, you know, like there's just things about it that gave it kind of like a preciousness or like a poetic quality maybe. And it was beautiful, you know, the photography, it made it feel like where you were from had those same qualities. You know, it wasn't a movie about LA or New York or something like that, or Chicago, like every fucking John Hughes movie. It was more like a middle American town in a way. Texas. These guys are from Texas. You know, you wouldn't think Wes Anderson is kind of like, he affects like he's goddamn, you know, Ernst Lubitsch or whatever. He dresses like, you know, he's Joseph von Sternberg. He's got the seersucker suit and he's an expat. He fled to Europe when the goddamn fascism came here. We're stuck with Trump. Wes Anderson is now in the fucking Grand Budapest Hotel. Fucking tobogganing with Ray Fiennes and fucking Adrian Brody. Like, what the fuck? Our republic is crumbling. We need Dignan. We need a sequel. I think they could do a Bottle Rocket sequel. Dignan gets out of jail. He's a hardened criminal. I mean, Dignan is... I just relate to the character so much. It's just sad. It's like I'm exactly like Dignan. I'm just this dreamer, schemer. He's always putting team together, trying to get, you know, he's just excited to do heists and, you know, go on missions and stuff. But Anthony's the one who actually has to, like, you know, make sure everything kind of goes smoothly. He's the one who's really kind of in charge. But, you know, Dignan is kind of the poetic spirit of the thing. He's kind of the animating. They wouldn't really be doing it. You know, Anthony's in a nut house. He's got this kind of lethargic ennui. He's spoiled. He's pampered by the, you know, the fine. He's like a Buddha character in a way. He's had too much kind of... Girls like him. Dignan's kind of a loser, you know. He knows the pain. Not that Anthony doesn't, but Anthony's in a nut house. So, you know, he's kind of water skiing. That never crossed your mind. You know, weird little lines of dialogue tell so much of the backstory. And it's like you, as an audience member, you get it. You know, like when he says, you know, there's nothing to steal from my mom and Craig. It's like that just tells, it's so relatable. It tells you so much about the fucking character. And it's just like one little throwaway ADR line of dialogue. And it's like, that's the kind of stuff that I feel like would get overlooked in most movies. They just be like, get rid of this. What does that mean? That doesn't, who's Craig? He's not in the fucking movie. But it's like, it says a lot about it. You know, there's nothing to steal from my mom and Craig. He's so like defensive about it. It lets us know he's poor. It lets us know his mom is divorced and married to some guy named Craig, who sounds like a real douchebag. How could you say that, Anthony? You know I'm poor. You know there's nothing to steal from my mom and Craig. I don't know. That was early, like, frat pack humor, I guess. Making fun of, like, I don't know, Craig. Or who was the guy in Randy? Randy on that skit with Amy Poehler. And my whole life is just fucking references to stupid pop culture shit. I don't know. I'm glad Wes Anderson is reconnecting with his Omphalos. Hopefully, I'd love to see another New York Wes Anderson movie. I mean, I guess he kind of made the ultimate fucking New York movie in a way. I don't think he could capture anything better than that, really. But what did he just bail? He lives in fucking Paris full time. He said he would move back to LA. I think he was just trying to tell people what they wanted to hear. I don't see Wes Anderson moving back to LA anytime fucking soon. Not after, LARPing in fucking Paris like he's Rene Claire or something. The son of a bitch. I'm glad Wes Anderson has grown into like this fucking, kind of eminent, grand figure of like world cinema, and like everybody knows who he is. He's recognizable. He sort of inhabits this role in a way that's kind of fun and anachronistic. And nobody really has the guts to do that much anymore. He's sort of like this character out of like the 30s or something. But he's just so successful, and it's like, how the fuck did he manifest? How did Wes Anderson manifest so hard? I have no good place to put this. He's at the Hollywood Bowl. It's a real weird lineup. It's like Beck and Bill Murray and Jenny Lewis are all like singing Oliver Onions Used to Being Free. It's very odd. It's like, what did 2006 just like fucking spew up all over the Hollywood Bowl? They just got like every twee person. It's like, get Rashida Jones in there. Get Garden State. Get Zach Braff in there. Put Bright Eyes in the fucking stage. Get Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother in there. No, I mean, now what's really, get Peter, Bjorn, and John in there. How was Peter, Bjorn, and John not invited to the Wes Anderson tribute concert? They had Beck playing Needle in the Hay, which was pretty good. But has Beck been involved in any... I mean, it kind of makes sense. He kind of is like a corollary to Wes Anderson in a way. I feel like they kind of look similar. They're Gen X. They're kind of contemporary, parallel. So I think it's a good pick, but it's also like, did Beck have anything to do with the fucking Wes Anderson soundtrack or anything? Like, just because he's a famous kind of LA guy, he kind of looks like Wes Anderson. He's like Gen X, aging, vintage kind of rock star. I mean, there was some debate on Twitter or something about Odelay. How like people are debating if like Odelay has stood up, or like the kind of, somebody was talking about the kind of artist that made Odelay like doesn't exist anymore, because it's like it's a lot of different genres. It's like Odelay is sort of like a collection of a bunch of different there's a country music song and kind of MC stuff, and there's punk music on there. There's every goddamn thing. Hip hop, there's mariachi. Oh, is this thing plugged in? God damn it. And so, I don't know, like Wes Anderson, it was sort of like the product of like the end of just like thrift store fucking culture. It was just like a bunch of records you found in like a vinyl bin, and fucking they were all on Beck's record. And I love Odelay. To me it was like one of the records in the 90s that I really listen to a lot, and like I still think it's like, I mean, is it as meaningful as like, I don't know, fucking Nirvana or something? Like, I don't know, probably not. But you know, musically, it's just like very infectious. It's very creative. It was sort of a concept album, or, you know, it had that kind of reach. You know, it felt like something that might be on par with like fucking the albums from the 60s, or like the great, you know, masterpieces of all time. And so for some reason, he's at the goddamn Hollywood Bowl shilling for a goddamn Wes Anderson tribute show. He's just in a fucking tribute band. They did have Jackson Browne. I thought that was pretty cool. Jackson Browne playing he wrote those songs when he was 16 years old. Fucking, I've been out walking. I don't do too much talking these days. These days I seem to think a lot about the... You know, those... The thing about Tenenbaums is, like, Wes Anderson really didn't live in New York that long, and he kind of, like... He has kind of an outsider's... Like, the music he picks... Like the Clash songs, or like those Jackson Browne songs, it's like, or like even the Velvet Underground songs he picks. He picks like Stephanie Says. He's not picking like Sunday Morning. He's not like picking like the hardcore, I guess maybe the more cliched shit. You know, it's not like he had, you know, Sweet Jane in his fucking movie, or After Hours, which would be the obvious like twee. Like in Science of Sleep, Michel Gondry, that's got After Hours, is like in that movie a bunch of fucking times. Because that's like a proto-hipster anthem if there ever was. Like, it's like hipster like sprang out of that song. Like, you know, all of like the real hipster aesthetic, it's all basically just like Velvet Underground, to be honest. Like the really hardcore hipster shit, it all kind of stems from Velvet Underground. It's all just people imitating Warhol, like 40 years way too late. You know, like it's like Macaulay Culkin's Pizza Velvet Underground band. Like, it's cool and everything, but it was just kind of a rehash. I didn't really get that. When I was in college, I was not that into the Velvet Underground. I liked Lou Reed's solo career more. I liked the New York album, but I was not really a huge Velvet Underground person. I liked some of their songs, but I didn't really get the grittiness of it and the lo-fi. You know, they were sort of like pioneers of that, I guess. Let me get this fucking ladder so I can stand this shit up, maybe. So those Jackson Browne songs, it's like, yeah, I guess they are New York songs because Nico sings them, but it's like they're not on fucking, what are they, on the Nico album? I think Jackson Browne was like maybe like a Warhol factory person when he was like a kid. But, you know, to me, Jackson Browne is probably more identified with like Los Angeles. Not that that's a deal breaker for those fucking songs. I mean, like, they obviously really worked for that movie and are like totally iconic moments in like cinema fucking music history. Generation defining for a young, you know, white, aesthetically oriented, bookish cinephile like me, aspiring European, poetic soul, melancholy, sensitive, artist, beret-wearing artist. These films were very important. Rushmore and Bottle Rocket especially, because it's like, these were stories about people in places basically like where I grew up that were striving to achieve. It was not really working, but like Max Fisher, you know, this character has so much spirit and he makes these incredible plays and they're like poems, you know. The way that Max Fisher writes is really like poetry. It's like these kind of mysterious phrases. He combines things. He can, he appropriates, he just steals outright from Apocalypse Now or Serpico or whatever. But it's like a ready-made, it's like Warhol. He's just like, okay, we'll just make a play out of Serpico, and it's Max Fisher Serpico. But as a kid, it was shocking because that character was so relatable. You were like, how did they know this? How did they make this character that's like this creative playwright, because I was always writing skits, putting on plays in the living room, whatever, filming skits. And I think a lot of kids did, but that movie really tapped into that, like, just having like this giant heart and spirit and ambition as a young artist, and like struggling to, but just like chasing your crazy ideas, whatever they are. Like Max Fisher really made that shit happen. Fucking play about Vietnam. He's got flamethrowers on the stage, helicopters and shit. Like the production value was fucking nuts. For a high school show, it was like he was Francis Ford Coppola. Sic Transit Gloria. And it's a love story, it's a love triangle, and he doesn't win. He sort of gets slammed to the fucking earth. But then in Tenenbaums, Wes Anderson kind of crossed over into NMS in the house. All right, now we're talking. The chat is on, baby. The chat is lit. So we're talking about the Wes Anderson 30th anniversary concert. Does Wes Anderson mean anything to you, or what? He's sort of a generational defining. He was our Lena Dunham, okay? Before Lena Dunham, we had Wes Anderson. Back when he made real fucking movies. These things that he makes now are like really complicated. He's cute. Yeah. He's got these really complicated fucking like dollhouse, myriad kind of ultra kind of developed references and stuff. I don't know. I saw the Phoenician Scheme in the fucking theater. You can't even tell what the fuck it's about at all. I don't remember anything about it. I remember it's about a rich guy. It's about a billionaire, and his plane goes down, and he's just like a badass. He's rich. It's like, I can't relate to this. This is like a fucking pop-up book. Oh yeah, the Phoenician Scheme. It was okay. I guess it's just he does a way different thing. It's like you just kind of, if you're a fan of the movies he makes now, it's not really related to anything before like Moonrise Kingdom, I don't think. His filmmaking changed after he made these fucking puppet movies. Once he figured out and did Fantastic Mr. Fox, something fucking changed. And he just started to direct everything like it was fucking puppets. To be honest. Was one battle another Wes Anderson. There you go. I think that would be an interesting exercise for Wes Anderson to do sort of a version after that. That was P.T. Anderson. Paul Thomas Anderson, who is the other. When I was younger, I did not really like Paul Thomas Anderson. I liked Wes Anderson. I was obsessed. Wes Anderson was like our Bible. It was like, here's what you wear, here's what you listen to, here's how you act. You're like moody, you're a fucking playwright. You wear a fucking beret and sunglasses and a fucking blazer and khakis. You get a messenger bag. Or you dress like Dignan, You try to be like Dignan. Dignan's a good role model. And, there's nobody... Dignan, come on. Grand Budapest Hotel. Yeah, I like Grand Budapest Hotel, but it's just a very different... It's more like a Powell and Pressburger movie. If you've ever seen those Powell and Pressburger movies, it's just like... The whole movie is like a storybook. Which is cool. Like, God bless him, it's like a Rankin and Bass fucking movie. That movie looked like fucking Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I prefer the movies he made. I'm old, okay? You know, like these young kids, they haven't even seen Bottle Rocket. They love fucking like Moonrise Kingdom and fucking Isle of Dogs and shit. They love the Asteroid one, whatever the fuck that was. I didn't even see it. I'd like to. Asteroid City, his titles have gotten horrible. Every title, I mean, the titles were never that great. Even Royal Tenenbaums not. I mean, Life Aquatic is a great title. I don't love Darjeeling Limited. It's okay. Fantastic Mr. Fox. I don't really get his whole Roald Dahl thing. I think that was kind of a misstep, but whatever. I think that took him into like everything is just taxidermy to Wes Anderson now. It's just like, let's get a bunch of stuffed quails in the fucking frame and, you know, let's just travel around all these fabulous places while we make our fucking, you know, imperialistic. His production company is called American Empirical Films. American Empirical. He's sort of like a white hunter guy. He kind of reminds me of some like big game hunter from like, I'm more of a Coen Brothers guy. Well, not really. The thing about Wes Anderson is like his aesthetic really does overpower like anything else. Like it was so convincing and like seductive, particularly, you know, Rushmore, Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic, you know, and to some degree Darjeeling Limited, like the clothes, the demeanor of these characters, the soundtracks were just like so cohesive. It's almost like Brechtian. It's like, holy shit. It's just like, it's all clicking. These montages just like really work. There's something about making fucking storyboards and montages that just like, it just really was intoxicating. The Coen brothers, I think, are probably more like, they probably have more integrity as writers, maybe. Like their storytelling has actual consequences. You know, like Wes Anderson's movies, people die and shit, but it's like, it doesn't feel like it means anything because they all just feel like fucking puppets, to be honest. Whereas like, you know, a Coen Brothers movie, like, goddamn, you know, it's like they can do dark stuff. They can do crime stuff and they can kill characters and it really feels like, wow, like that, put them in the wood chipper or whatever. But then they can do the most funny fucking, you know, like Big Lebowski is probably one of the goddamn funniest movies ever made. Barton Fink, I like saw, it was one of the first movies I probably ever saw when I was like 5 or 6. Or, you know, it was an early movie that I remember. I think my parents got it from West Coast Video. We got it from the video store. And Barton Fink is like, it was pretty fucking disturbing to like a 5-year-old. You know, like they killed that lady and all the blood. But at the same time, it's like it spoke to me in some weird way. Like even at Pixels, there you go. I'm more of an Adam Sandler, Rob Schneider guy. More of a Rob Schneider, Steven Seagal guy, to be honest. If I had to pick one auteur, it'd be whoever directed it'd be John McTiernan. Backrooms, perhaps you've heard of it. Oh, what is that? Backrooms. I'm more of a Pixels guy. Is that, there's an Adam Sandler movie called Pixels. You know, Wes Anderson has had a varied career. It's almost like he has these periods, you know, like there's everything up to Tenenbaums, and then there's kind of like his middle period, and then there's everything after Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is like these hyper-curated kind of like diorama fucking movies, which, you know, are interesting and beautiful. I liked Kane. There you go. Back Room. Interesting. I liked French Dispatch. I didn't love the writing, but like the way it looked, the idea of it, I think he overwrites everything. He he's trying to sound super literary or something, and it's like, it's just not really working. It just sounds like purple prose to me. And, you know, like, he's not really like I'd like to, he should write like a book of short stories or something. I would love to read like a book of Wes Anderson, like novel or something. I guess that's what he does in his movies. His movie, you know, like they publish his scripts, and his scripts have taken on this like insane density. You know, it just feels like his mind like is like, he wants to create these like really complicated like puzzle box movies. Like that Phoenician Scheme, or I mean even French Dispatch, it's like the script is like incredibly specific and comprehensively so. And that's right, I'm just going to talk about fucking Wes Anderson the whole goddamn time. There was some other shit that I was going to talk about. Let me get a fucking snack. It's snack time, everybody. You got snacks at home. It's time to fucking snack. I don't know if this is fucking charging or not. I guess we'll just trust. Bless, trust. We'll find out, I guess. Or not, maybe we'll see. Yeah, so I had the poetry doubleheader today. 2 outdoor. Just trying to stay busy, trying to fucking, I don't know. What's gonna happen? I don't know. You never know who sees you at this stuff. You know, you're in front of 40 or 50 people, 30 or 40 people. You don't know who the fuck is out there. You don't know who you're affecting. Driving down the freeway, 75 miles per hour. That's right. Back Rooms. Have you watched Tires? The Shane Gillis produced indie comedy. I haven't seen it, but I think it's interesting that he did that. He like created his own fucking show and sold it to Netflix. Probably made a fucking shitload of money. I mean, what if Lindsey Graham dies, then McConnell dies, then Trump dies? I mean, it's a magic summer already, everybody. Just keep it going. Let's keep the party going. What do you say? What's going on in the chat here? I found Tires to be very, very lame. See, I'm with you. I probably would hate it. I'm not a Shane Gillis fan, really. He's just somebody that's wormed his way into the fucking popular consciousness. He's okay, whatever. He's whatever. I don't necessarily like hate him. You know, I don't like see him and I'm not like, oh, I hate this fucking guy. I don't really care. I never got to see his ladybugs. What is that? I heard somebody fucking say something about the ladybugs. I just don't really find him that funny. The main thing that he was like, got a lot of juice for was like his fucking Trump impersonation. He started doing Trump, you know, in 23 or 4 when the re-election cycle was happening. And it was one of the things that sort of enabled just a bunch of fucking bro douchebags. I've been listening to Shane's podcast since before he was famous. There you go. How'd you find out about him? Adam S. is very hip. I mean, he's been watching Scenes from a Life for way before I was famous. Adam S. is ahead of the curve. But he doesn't like Tires. Why don't you like Tires? I haven't seen any. I think maybe I've seen like little bits of clips and this and that. I just like the idea that he did that and he sold it. And it's like, it's a show, I guess, ostensibly sort of about like normal people, guys that work on cars or something in a fucking garage. Where they change people oil, change people's tires, I guess, probably. Obviously. I mean, there have definitely been comedy people that have pissed me off more than that guy. Oh, Lindsey Graham's Ladybugs. Yeah, there were people on Twitter saying that, like, now that Lindsey Graham is dead, it's like, I can come out and say, like, I'm a meth head, and, like, Lindsey Graham paid... Some guy was like, Lindsey Graham paid me to fuck him, and... Wow, Shane Gillis just appeared in your algorithm, huh? Interesting. Yeah, it was probably some fucking dark money Peter Thiel propaganda. He was at the fucking UFC thing. Tired Show's like a sitcom. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. They're probably trying to go for that. They probably want it to feel like a throwback to when sitcoms were sitcoms. It's raunchy. Yeah, I mean, Netflix, I don't see how it can continue being as successful as it is with the low quality that it's like, kind of like, it just seems like everything they're doing is going to shit. All the content they make is shit. Like, they try to do wrestling and they've turned that to shit. I think they're gonna, like, start to pay streamers and shit to, like, fucking stream on Netflix. That's fucking sad. But Netflix has gone way the fuck downhill. It feels like it defines, like, slop. You know, eye candy, second screen viewing, so you're like watching, you're on your phone while you're watching it or something. Love Island, you watch Love Island? Is that on Netflix? What could possibly be so good about Love Island? How could Love Island be any different than any of these other shows? How could, they've done every reality, they've done, you know, The Bachelor, The Bachelorette, they've done naked dating, whatever the fuck that show is, where it's like literally they just show you the person naked at the beginning. They're like, do you want to date this person? It's like they've done every fucking reality show. When I was younger, it was like, there was some fucking Love Island show, Paradise Hotel or something, where it was just like, put all these hot people in a fucking, they were building a huge studio in New Jersey for Love Island or for movie production stuff. What the fuck is so compelling about Love Island? Or these goddamn Housewives shows? It's like, how the fuck can you even tell the difference between Real Housewives of New York and Real Housewives of Atlanta and Real Housewives of fucking... I mean, I guess I'm showing my ignorance here. I'm showing my lack of... I mean, I don't... first of all, how do people who watch these shows have access to these shows? Like, aren't they on, like, Bravo and shit? Like, what? Love Island, is that on? Is that on HBO? Is that on Fox? Like, what is Love Island on? And yet, it's so... It seems like, you know, 20% of the people on the internet are, like, obsessed with Love Island. And what is it? It's just a bunch of fuckboys, and how is that any different than every other fucking reality show? They're all like that. It's like, let's get a bunch of hot people in their 20s, get them drunk, and just have them all betray each other. And we'll get them to talk about it on camera. Pretty dope idea for a show. Let's get them in a bathing suit and a hot tub. We'll have some kind of like blowjob contest or something. Let's ruin these people's lives. Love Island. I'd love to. I mean, I'm curious. Is it on HBO Max? Love Island. That'll be the theme for this year's New York City Poetry Festival. Love Island. On Governor's Island. It's Love Island, everybody. So get ready. Okay, a sad commentary on our culture. I mean, it's probably, you know, the thing is, the weird part is, like, all of these shows probably are, like, or I don't know, it's like, you know, especially in poetry world, it's like the smartest, most credentialed, like, cutting-edge artists. It's like they all write about the dumbest shit. It's like I'm going to write a whole poetry book of, like, Love Island poems. Or like I'm gonna write a fucking poetry book about being like a cyborg from the plastic surgery, from fucking, I'm post-human, you know, and then it's the whole thing's about Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. My whole book is about Real Housewives poems. It's just a bunch of Real Housewives poems. And how Real Housewives is like, you know, an example of some kind of Lacanian fucking doubling of the fucking whatever the fuck. How Love Island is secretly Marxist, fucking queer. I don't know. I don't fucking know. I wish I knew. I'd be watching Love Island probably right now. I'd probably have a live stream about Love Island. I'd be podcast. Then people would watch. If all I did was talk about Love Island and I was like an expert, people might be like, "Ooh, this is pretty good. This guy talks about Love Island. We like it." Me, it's like, who the fuck is gonna watch a live stream? It's like I talk about Wes Anderson movies. I talk about like Dad Rock. I talk about Love Island. I talk about Mitch McConnell dying. The war's back on. Oh yeah, this is one thing. The war. It's like this war and the ceasefire is like. What is American culture? Good question. The war and the ceasefire is like when people say they are quitting smoking, and it's like, okay, I quit smoking. I just quit smoking again. I'm quitting smoking. It's like, you're not quitting. There's no ceasefire. Just because you stop shooting each other, you know, momentarily does not make it a ceasefire. Like, this war is like, it's back, supposedly. I don't know. Do you think they killed Lindsey Graham? They said he had an aortic dissection or something, which maybe there's something they can put in your drink that will do that. They said he had a sudden and like short illness or something, which is kind of a sketchy way to tell people. I quit smoking, sad with 5 Zins in the cheek. There you go, 5 Zins in the cheek. That's how we gotta quit Iran. We've gotta quit bombing them. Get some Zins in that cheek. Some democratic socialism in that cheek, and up in them cheeks, clapping them cheeks. The COVID vaccine got him. That's the best take I've heard yet. I'm glad I said that on my live stream. Now the YouTube fucking scanner is going to be like, medical strike. He talked about the vaccine. That's right. That vaccine. All these heart attacks are coming out. And he shouldn't have had that Pfizer, man. He shouldn't have had that Moderna. That mRNA. He fucked up. You fucked up, Lindsay. You let them put the chip in you, bro. And then all they had to do, I mean, he was literally just in Ukraine, and now he's dead. I mean, I guess that could be stressful. He looked pretty healthy. The thing about these aortic dissection or whatever, it's like it can happen just like that and be a fatal thing. I mean, it's not unheard of, particularly for, you know, a fun-loving individual like Lindsey Graham. I mean, Jesus Christ. It was like the first time I've looked at the paper and been like, oh, okay. Maybe things are turning around. Maybe things are going to get better. Maybe the Trump nightmare is almost over. Operation Warp Speed. Yeah, they warp speeded Lindsey Graham's ass right the fuck out of this earthly coil. Damn, 3 shots. I only got the one. I got the Johnson & Johnson because it was the most old-fashioned and it was 1 shot. I figured that's the way to go. You know, I don't want some funky new computer or mRNA. I don't need some crypto fucking vaccine or whatever. I don't need some kind of AI fucking, you know, microchip, whatever. I'll just get I'll get the Johnson & Johnson. I like their baby powder. I like that baby shampoo they have. Johnson & Johnson, they do gentle. They have gentle products that like, they're just classic. You know, there's something to be said for that. You know, it's like a lot of this newfangled shit. It's got all these flavors and all this other shit. It's like, yeah, I don't want that. Just give me the fucking hot dog. You know, I don't want all the fucking bells and whistles. I don't need all the fucking minty, you know, icicle winter cells or, you know, crystals, winterly green breathy crystals. It's like, I don't need that shit. Just give me a fluoride toothpaste. Give me the basics. You know, don't add a bunch of other shit. Just make something that like works. And how did I start talking about this? Lindsey Graham. Oh, the vaccine. That's definitely something we should be. Johnson & Johnson's Folgers. There you go, exactly. Exactly, just give me a cup of coffee. I don't need fucking, you know, matcha fucking yerba fucking smoothie, you know? Whatever the fuck, these milkshakes that people drink for breakfast. Here I am in my chair complaining about, I mean, it's cool, it's all good, do your thing. But that I don't mind that shit, but it's like they need the basics too. It's just like, give me the Johnson & Johnson. Give me the one and done. It's like they've been doing it since the fucking polio vaccine. Like, it's tried and true. It's not some weird thing that they just came up with and it's 2 shots. Like, what the fuck is that about? What is that? Who's ever heard of that? I mean, I don't think the vaccine, I shouldn't talk about this on my YouTube because it's going to trigger some kind of fucking stupid censor shit. I don't think it was a conspiracy in any way. You know, but I think that there's a lot of things in our culture where like they're using AI or they're using computer systems where it's not necessary. They're not really trusting human logic. They're not really trusting like actual physical. They've got all these newfangled processes that are sort of like synthetic and like half real, and it's just like, I just don't really trust that stuff. I don't trust like a lot of this AI stuff. It's just like it doesn't actually do anything meaningful. Like it's a shortcut if you're lazy to getting like an imitation of like something that feels real, and it can maybe help you sort of like broadly outline something or get like broad strokes of something, but I would not use AI to like make any decisions for me or any kind of like specific, I would not give it any responsibility whatsoever. It might be something that I were like confer with maybe, but I don't really find it that useful generally speaking. And they act like it's this tried and true kind of foolproof fucking And these vaccines, I don't know, it's like, it's a similar thing where it's like they're putting all this new technology, they don't really know what it is, they don't really know if it works. They think that it's better, it's supposed to be way better because of X, Y, and Z, but it hasn't even been around that long. And it's like, it's not really based on like a mechanical process, it's based on some kind of like weird digital process or something. Like, things used to be built just like functionally through like their mechanics. Those things are generally have stood the test of time, where it's like now everything is like a smart refrigerator, everything's a fucking computer that like does something else. You know, it's like your car's a fucking computer, the fucking thermostat's a fucking computer, this is a fucking computer, like the fucking, you know, intercom is a fucking computer. My fucking brain is a fucking computer. I'm only gonna do 2 hours. They'll probably send a bunch of fucking people in right as I'm wrapping up my 2-hour commitment to you, the viewer. Isn't it fun to have the chat back, everybody? Your contributions have proven. Thank you for sticking with me through the era of no chat. It's probably been what? I don't know, 6 months or something since I've had the chat on. So, God bless you for sticking with it, even when you had no say in the matter. I could just ramble on. What was I talking about? Fucking, not the vaccine. Hold on, I gotta get my other phone. My other phone's got my... Okay, so my set list here. Jesus Christ. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, the ceasefire, I talked about that. Well, I wanted to talk about body language because, you know, a lot of times it's like our body language is actually, you know, they say, what is it, 90% of communicating is like your body language. You know, like it's not really what you say, it's how you say it. And I was just thinking, you know, well, animals, it's like that's kind of all they have. All animals have is body language. It's like they're communicating in this kind of like, I don't know, the way that they move, suddenness of the actions, you know, like it's all pantomime. If you're a fucking animal. I mean, they have ways of vocalizing and stuff that have expression and have specific meaning and whatnot, I'm sure. Supposedly the AI is gonna like be able to tell us what animals are saying, somehow. When your dog barks or something, like the AI is gonna be able to fucking translate it and be like, this is what your dog just said to you. Your dog said you're a mean piece of shit and feed me, asshole. But, I don't know why the fuck I was bringing that up. It felt deep when I was high. All animals have is body language. Well, I think that's just one reason why it's still like the most important aspect of our communication. And, you know, it's like a lot of what we are receiving is through a fucking phone or text, or it's not really body language first. We're sort of looking to other cues, I think. You know, like when you see somebody's content, there are certain cues that they're giving you through every decision they make that like indicates certain thing about how much effort went into it and like what social status they might, you know, like the production that goes into it, the set that they have. That's why I hate texting. You really don't know the intent behind it. Yeah, I don't love texting either. I don't love that like texting is just like the de facto mode of communication basically for everything now, because it just feels, you know, it's the opposite of body language. You know, it's you're sort of trying to indicate certain things emotionally, certain things about you're being carefree, you're just sort of bantering. You know, you're being light, you're being enthusiastic. You know, like people use way more goddamn exclamation points than I ever would have anticipated when I was like a kid or in high school. You really didn't use exclamation points very often. And like a piece of real writing, maybe you'll have one exclamation point, if that, maybe one. You don't use, like now it's like if you don't put an exclamation point in your fucking email, people think you're like a fucking homicidal maniac or you're negative, you're a hater. It's like you have to buoy everything up with sort of like a positive corners. You know, the corners of everything kind of have to be rounded off, and you got to use emojis and LOL and LMAO and haha. I do a lot of ha-haing and LOLing on my text to let people know how carefree I am and how unaffected I am and how seriously I'm not taking it, how detached and unemotional I am. And things like when you post, when you like it, what kind of camera you're using, what you're, you know, do you have a microphone? Is your audio good? You know, these are all like social cues to people. Like this, people tune in, they see I don't have a fucking microphone. There's no set. I'm not dressed up. I don't have a plan. And they're immediately deducing certain things about, well, this is very low effort. This is very low. What is this? It's not defined. There's no gimmick. There's no branding, really. Or the branding is like very like anti-branding. You know, I hate the fucking branding terminology, all of that. That sort of came in like 15 or 20 years ago. You never heard about branding at all before like 2008 or something. And then it's just like, now it's just like this normal fucking part of our lives. Like, you gotta figure out your fucking branding. Your personal branding, your logo, and how you wanna communicate your fucking, you know, your values or whatever. It's all just branding now. There's nothing else. There's no art behind it. It's like the art is just another fucking part of the branding. It's like the art is supposed to be the thing, you know, the song, whatever, the film, the live stream. Now it's all just fucking production and LED lights and branding. And everything just kind of, I don't know, kind of looks the same, I guess. Complaining about modern world, that all sucks, it's all gone to shit. I don't know. The algorithm rewards things that sort of like play into a more banal aesthetic. Things that are a little more consensus or lowest common denominator even. Things that people that pay for fucking views, pay promotion, pay to be seen, pay to boost their posts. Or it's just, I don't know, the algorithm fucking just has shitty taste. We all know that. It's smoothing everything out. It's making everything really kind of normal looking, boring looking, unadventurous. I am gonna do 2 hours, god damn it. That means we got 6 more minutes. 6 more minutes of beauty and fun together, everybody. Should I talk about clowning? Some clowning. I mean, Gwen really has some amazing information about clowning and thoughts about clowning. And Well, I don't know. You always aspire to be beautiful. I think that's not a bad goal. This works. You don't need all the bells and whistles. Thank you, Bruce Holiday. There you go. You don't need all the bullshit. Well, you know, if you can find out with some kind of immediate hook, you know, like All Gas, No Brakes. The title of that guy's approach to journalism, just, you know, chasing the story, Gonzo style, and, you know, interviewing just the most cracked out people. All gas, no brakes. It's just like you saw that, you're like, this is familiar already. I feel like I know what this is. Jackass is having this crazy kind of like resurgent cultural moment where people are sort of reevaluating it and, you know, kind of putting it in its rightful place as like this major cultural. People are finally recognizing Jackass as like. I mean, I loved it when I was in high school. Jackass was like one of the. Not that I wanted to imitate those guys. I was never really like obviously like a Daredevil prank guy or anything. But just their attitude, I think, was cool, carefree, funny. They were fun. They were legitimately funny. Scenes from a Life as Gonzo. There you go. Yeah, did you see my new vlog? It's 4.5 hours long. I just posted it. It puts you right smack in the driver's seat of the life of a open mic poet in downtown New York, circa 2026. It's kind of weird going back to all these readings that I used to do because it's been 5 years, you know, now. And so it kind of just feels like you're going back to some place that the water's kind of stale or something, I don't know. You're trying to go back and have that experience again. And it's fun to do. It's great to reconnect. But you're older now, you look older. And, you know, every time you do it, it's not what you expect. Every night you go out, you know, it's like you don't know what is going to happen. And it's never what you expect. Some nights are like amazingly great, and they just come kind of out of nowhere. And then other nights are really bad and dark, and you don't know why. And, I don't know. It's a crazy summer. You know, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of positive things happening. I mean, that's I guess one thing that's different. This year does feel like, you know, ever since Trump sort of came into the picture, it just felt like this drag of like, there wasn't really that much to be hopeful about. It was just bad news, L. Now it feels like, well, there's things that are starting to change. Mamdani, the Knicks won, Lindsey Graham died. You know, maybe. I didn't see what happened with this Graham Plattner guy. Apparently he's a piece of shit. But I don't know. Maybe things are turning around. Hopefully. Hopefully this is the beginning of summer of 27 under Trump. Summer of 28 still. Yeah. Yeah, that is true, and we'll see. We'll see what the hell happens. You know, he'll probably hold on. He's not, I don't know. He looks like shit. He looks like he's really not doing good. But I don't know. He like fluctuates in and out of lucidity, and he's outright calling the leaders of the countries the wrong names and the countries the wrong names, and you know that could have serious consequences when you're like bombing people. You know, you generally should definitely know what the countries. Well, you should know which country you're bombing. You should be clear in your intent. This is the country I want to bomb. You know, I want to bomb Iran, not Japan, not the Islamic Republic of Japan. That's when you really are getting into some dangerous territory, where Trump is just like he's the mad bomber, and he's literally, you know, mashing up, you know, entirely different parts of the world. So it's gonna be fun in either way. It's gonna be full of shenanigans, those Trump shenanigans that we all know and love, those trademark Trump fucking pratfalls and all the practical jokes, the bloopers and practical jokes that we voted for. All right, well, thank you guys for watching. I guess this was worth it. Thank you. We had a good chat. We got 3 likes. That's a good day's work. That's higher than average. Thank you, Adam S. and Bruce Holiday. I'll probably be back on, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. And then, you know, you'll see me at Poetry Festival next week. Peace! Thanks for watching, guys. Tune into the open mic tomorrow. It's a good list. Should be a good time.